So this time around we're gonna show you I think that the hardest technique to master but the most painful to the tank commander you can encounter. So this is a bit exaggerated example.
A
As you can
bit.
see there's a lot, but it's just to show that clearly the technique. So you have infantry squads surrounding 3 M15s. And normally, if that infantry would be bunched up, that M15s would just back away and kill them from the distance. But because they're encircled, the infantry is going to close in from every direction, so the tanks are going to have a hard time escaping from that ring of fire. The ring of fire.
Yeah, and you can do this especially well with tank destroyers because obviously they can't fire back, so you really only need one infantry on each side, and you know they're dead.
Yeah, I think we should just play it away and just show it. So 3, 2, 1, go. So always select all attack, and then you can use a little bit of micro if you want, but just to spread your infantry so they don't get shot at like all at once. And as you can see, the tanks already have hard time escaping, and they're all dead. So I think I lost there like 2 or 3 infantry squads for the cost of 3 tanks, which is 45. Very good, very painful. When that happens, you're just gonna cry. But when you do that to your opponents, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think it sometimes requires a little bit of luck as well. Like you can look, and say, oh my god, he's got tanks here, I've got no AT, and then you see you've got some infantry in the forest around or something, and you're like, wow, I can, yeah, it's at least for me, I don't usually plan to do this, but it does. The situations come up more than you would think, where you can use
Yeah, it
this.
helps when you have a couple of stragglers. Like if you have spare infantry, just like put them in woods, put them in towns. Just make sure you have them. Don't just throw them to get them killed. That's pointless. Like if you're gonna kill them for no reason, that you're wasting them. They're wasting their potential. So I think on this map usually that will happen those 2 woods in the base where you can put infantry on both sides and maybe in town, and when tanks are trying to get into your base you could just crash them from both sides. But like
Oh, yeah,
usually
that's another thing.
it's not as pure as shown in here where you have like totally encircled them, but hopefully you can catch
Yeah.
them.
But yeah, that's another thing. On this map is a good example. On the towns in front of the bases, you have these the town squares. The surprise attack zones are very close to the edge of the town. So if there's tanks just passing there, sometimes you can just dash out of that zone. Just and
Yeah,
the
especially in
tanks are
here
so
between the
close.
bridge and the town. Yeah, that's the most deadly part. So
Yeah, and the tanks are so close that your infantry's already in range with the bazookas or whatever they have. And yeah, that works very well too.
okay, so let's move on to some more basic stuff, I think. So, Swift, what do you think is going to happen now? We have 4 light infantry from Praslavan and 4 heavy infantry from me, the Live Master, noob again, as you can see.
Yeah, I've been on holiday now as a noob.
Yeah, challenge
Especially
me
in
now while you
TF2, you
can.
should see him. Sucks. Oh my god. Anyway.
So as you can see, the Italian light infantry has 40 damage to the and
yeah,
the
the
Germans
clue
have 8.
is in the name.
Yeah,
Heavy
light
infantry,
versus
light
heavy, yes.
infantry. Yeah. So, heavy infantry is better. Yeah, especially for the Germans because the research is so fast, and it's only
Oh,
25.
yeah, it
It's
is.
it's almost always worth it.
And as you can see, and as mentioned before, is 100 points greater, whatever that units they measure it. So let's
Yeah,
just unpause it
Gvardia.
in
Oh wait,
3, 2.
wait. Gvardia has 100 damage, but it has been nerfed, I think, to be equal to the 80 damage, even though it still says 100. There have been a few stealth update, stealth balance patch things, with like the Rising Sun DLC and stuff. There was an update that that everyone got, and they changed some stuff.
Oh, I actually didn't know that about. Okay, that's interesting. We should test it, but I think Guardia is still better. I'm not sure. Maybe
Oh,
that's
maybe
a
it is.
more.
Mm.
Guardia. Usually the rule of thumb is never fight infantry with infantry if you don't have Guardia and you fight against them, because
Yeah.
it's not cost effective.
But the Siegfrieds and Maginus get killed by 2 light bombers as well, I think, which they didn't used to. I
Okay.
think, and
Well,
the
I think
Super
we should
Pershing got a slight nerf.
test the stealth updates or stealth myths. We should call that.
Yeah.
That'll be another tutorial then. Okay,
Well, that
can we
wouldn't be a
unpause
tutorial,
now?
it'd be testing, but yeah.
And we'll see how light infantry will win definitely against heavy infantry because of the naming
Thank you.
schemes.
Got it mixed up there.
Yeah,
Light
I know.
win against heavy. Yeah.
Yes,
Let's
that
go.
was the point. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. 4-0 or 4 or 3.5 to 0 because they routed one squad.
Yeah, for example, it takes 3 light infantry if they're the ones with 20 damage. Italian and German have 40 damage, but it takes 3 to kill a paratrooper, if it's landed. If it's landing, it takes 2 because they can shoot them when they're slightly in the air. But yeah.
Yes, never take chances with paratroopers. I always actually build just 4 or 5 for one para. You have to remember, like, it usually takes only 15 to build paratroopers, so it's 3 infantry for you. But you're gonna kill him, you're gonna have that infantry and a couple of extras just in case they don't do any damage. That's me. If you have cash, of course. Yeah, always build heavy infantry pretty much, unless you're Russians because it's 25.
Italians also, the research is painful.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
don't know
really
how long it is, but yeah.
I think it's 75 seconds for all of its research, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna show you like what's the difference between the infantries that are in woods and that are not in the cover. Woods give you, I think, like 1/3 resistance, plus a surprise attack. But in here we're not gonna have a surprise attack because there we go, Falco is already circling above the Storm Grenadiers. It's both infantries are like the same, but because the German infantry is in the woods, they get bonuses to defense. And as you can see, they clearly won.
Well, also President's sort of running at them the wrong way. He's got them, or at least the first one was slightly before the others, so it's gonna get shot by like all 4 of the Storm Grenadiers. It's like infantry macro's tough. I'm not that good at it, but it's, you know, it makes a difference.
Well, that reminds me of one big mistake that people do. The thing is that people send infantry one by one to the town, and that is wasteful. Like it's you most of the time don't do any damage or like very little damage at
Yeah.
all to that garrison of the city, and you're being wasteful. And don't do that. Always gather infantry in front of the town and then move them as a blob into it. Blobbing is bad, but in this case, it's very good. It's actually what you should do.
Yeah. Unless there's bombers circling.
So I think we're gonna finish. The last thing we want to show you that people still sometimes find and ask is how to destroy depots with infantry. So basically, you run your infantry towards the depot, and they shoot it. Don't click on it because they will capture it. Just put it next to it. But the trick is that in here, you have to set automatic fire on building, and by doing that, all of the bombers would attack buildings automatically. All the infantry would attack buildings automatically when they're close to it, and so other tanks or RT or whatever units you have.
Yeah. Also to note, there is a difference in the light and heavy infantry with that as well. There are heavy grenades and light grenades, which are the damage to buildings caused by infantry. They also throw grenades sometimes when they're fighting other infantry. And I think the Italian light infantry is the only light infantry to have heavy grenades.
There's none of those left in here, but we're gonna probably put in the end notes just to make sure. Okay, anyways, with that side note, I'm gonna wrap it up. Anything else you want to say, Swift?
Yeah, back to me as the host next time.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so this was the first tutorial for RUSE that covered infantry bases. If you have anything else that we missed and should be said, please tell us so in comments maybe, or in person on Steam. We're probably gonna put into the end of end of the notes of the video or something like that. Okay, that's it. That was me, the Lagmaster, and my co-host Swift. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, let's play TF2 now.